Now, even though this is a slick and rough outline, we can edit it because it's vector. Remember that everything we've done here in Illustrator is vector based. By now, you know that we could use the direct selection tool and perhaps pull and push these points around because the tool has created points and paths. But there is a more fun and interactive way to edit hand-drawn shapes like this. In fact, there's a whole selection of them, but I'm going to use one called the Warp tool. Now, over here in the tools, we have a brand new tool, which is called the Width tool. But what I'm going to do is click on this, and you'll see a whole flyout of options here. We have Warp, Twirl, Pucker, Bloat, Scallop, Crystallize, and Wrinkle. I mean, you could have some serious fun with these, and honestly, I could spend a whole day showing you all the ins and outs of how very cool these are. However, we're just going to use one at this point, which is the Warp tool. Now, once you select it, you'll see it comes up with a circle, kind of like we're using a paintbrush. Well, this is basically the radius of the warp distortion area, okay? In fact, if we go back into the tool and double-click it, you can see the default value there, okay? There's also an intensity, which is essentially how much of the warp is applied as you click and hold your mouse. And again, you also have detail and simplification options, so you can choose the accuracy according to what you draw. I'm not going to change anything here for a second because we can change the size of the brush essentially in a different way. Cancel this. Position over the top of our image, and let's just give it a quick try. Let's say we come over here onto this flat area. I'm going to click and drag and have a look at what happens. Now, you'll notice that as we're pushing out, we're also getting our green smart guides here. So this is why I wanted to show you this. This really is a situation where the smart guides could become a hindrance. So I'm just going to undo that and press Command U or Control U on the PC to turn off your smart guides. Now you can have much finer control over the amount of warp and the position and movement that you have there, and really fine tune it. Now, on the other side of things, you'll notice that as I come over the top here and move, because of the size of the brush area, an entire section of path is being moved. And let's say I just undo that and I want to push this area out a little bit. I can't do that. I get absolutely everything together. Well, this is why you wish to change the radius. That can be done holding down the Option and the Shift key, as you would pretty much expect for drawing a circle, as we've seen before. As we then click and drag down with this, we can redefine the radius of the tool. Okay, so now that we've got a smaller one, we're free to sort of grab these little points back and forth and push and pull them accordingly. And don't forget, if you want to, you can even zoom in on your path, go up to a much higher magnification, and really fine tune exactly how much of a distortion you're applying. The Warp tool is actually incredibly fun, and being able to change the radius and everything else like that in a live way is very, very handy. Now, to finish this up, what we do want to do is slice out these outer sections and just give ourselves a finished rectangle. So by now, you probably know that the Pathfinder would be the easiest way to do this. So let's press our M key, which takes us back to our rectangle tool. We can turn on our smart guides again and just position ourselves in the upper left-hand side, click and drag down to draw a box that fills the entire area. Going to hit the V key to go back to the main selection tool, and I'm going to highlight both the rectangle and the shape that we've drawn. We're not going to pick up the image because it's locked in the background. And then we'll also do Shift X to switch our stroke over to our fill. Now we could go over to our Pathfinder and choose the intersect option here, which would give us only the shape within the rectangle, and that would be our final silhouette. So you can see there how freeform drawing with the pencil tool can be done very quickly and easily, but that Warp tool function is really very handy for updating it as we move forwards.